I want you to sit with that for a second. Every single person you ever met, every person who has ever lived, was brought into existence without being consulted. You didn't choose this, I didn't choose this. And yet, one thing every single generation does without fail is turn around and make the same choice for somebody else. There's a philosopher I've been reading a lot lately. It's called Emile Cioran. He spends most of his writing on one idea that being born is the actual catastrophe. Like, it's not dying, not suffering, the very fact of existing at all. And when you first heard that, it sounds so insane. Like, dude, like life could be a gift, whatever. But sit it with it for a second longer, because before you existed, you weren't missing anything. You weren't suffering from existing. There was no you to be deprived of anything. And then through no decision of your own, you were thrown into a body, into a mind, into a world that comes with death, disease, heartbreak, boredom, existential dread, and eventually death anyway. You didn't get a say in any of it. And now, as an adult, you're expected to turn around and do the exact same thing to somebody else and call it love. I'm not saying this to be edgy. I'm saying this because I think most people who have kids never actually see with the ethics of what they're doing. They do it because it's expected. They do it because their parents did it. They do it because they think it'll give their life meaning, or because they're scared of dying without leaving something behind. But none of those are reasons that are actual about the kid. They're reasons about the parent. The kid doesn't get to wait in any of it. They just show up one day already obligated to survive in a world they never agreed to enter. And look, I get like the counter argument that people will say that most people are glad they were born and most people don't regret existing. Like, sure, that's not really like evidence of anything, because once you're here, you're wired to keep being here. And of course, you say life is worth it, and like you don't have access to the alternative to compare to it. There's no control group. Nobody who has never born is walking around missing out of anything. But the person who's born can absolutely suffer, can absolutely regret it, can absolutely spend 40, 50, 80 years just trying to get through the day. And that's like a really real risk. And it's a risk you're choosing on behalf of somebody who has zero ability to consent to it. Now, I'm not telling anyone what to do with their life. If you want kids, that's your call to make. And I'm not going to sit here and act like every parent is making some great moral error. But I do think the question deserves more weight than it gets. We treat do you want kids like it's a lifestyle preference, like picking a car or city to live in. It's not. It's the single most consequential decision a person can make on behalf of someone else who has never and will never get a vote. Maybe the most honest thing you can do if you're on the fence is stop asking, will this make me happy? And start asking more, am I doing this for me? Or am I doing this because I actually believe existence is a gift and I have the right to someone else? Those are two very different questions. And I think most people never actually ask the second one. Thank you guys for watching.